Hello, welcome to Truck Talk Videos. This time it's American Truck Simulator. Now this video is going out, first of all, before anything else, it's going out 10 minutes before the 9th of November. The 9th of November is when the new DLC, which is New Mexico, is being released. Okay? So when it hits 12 o'clock, I will... New Mexico! That's what I'm going to do. So, I've got a Kenworth T680 here. I'm going all the way from Fresno to Barstow to Eddie's with packaged food. So, what can I say? Everybody's been waiting for this. You know, we sort of can't wait that this is now being released, and I'm just looking forward to it like anybody else, really. And hopefully, with the camera angle and the way it is, everybody can see. I've got the tripod right near the chair and the wardrobe here, and I've got the monitor facing it. Now, the camera isn't actually secured to the tripod right now because the little thing that screws it on, I think, is in the car boot. So, you know, it's sort of a delicate balancing act, you could say. I've tilted the screen, so hopefully everybody can see. And also, you're not going to get the full effect like I am, because it's showing only one small part of the screen. But hopefully everybody can see, and you know, you can't see the sides of the monitor. So I thought I'd do a quick round about the Kenworth T680. This is the latest edition from Kenworth, which was first introduced in 2013, even though I know it was on display at a show in 2012, and it was saying all about it. Personally, I like the driving position, I like the satellite navigation, I like a lot of things about the interior. The exterior, I think Kenworth has obviously made this a lot more modern from the previous tractor units, but still, I think compared to Scania and Volvo, it could be, you could say, a little more modern. But then Scania and Volvo, what can I say about Scania, you know, with the next generation? I mean, I think the outside it takes, you know, many months, I think, to adjust from an R series to an S series, to sort of just see how the two look. And I think when you often take photos of trucks, then I think it takes, you know, a lot of getting used to with your eyes, shall we say, you know, to do with the looks. It looks very futuristic. It looks, you know, this is the tractor unit we're going to have here in Europe for many years to come, you could say. So ahead of its time. And personally, I still prefer the old R series with the air intakes, but that's just me. My good friend Richard King of Richard King Haulage has got two S series. One is an S500, and the first one he got on the 25th of June is fitted with a bull bar. Very nice indeed. He's also getting another one in January, so I'm pretty sure I'll be invited to the yard for that. But the interior of that, I've actually sat in the R series. I haven't sat at the S series, should I say? Not when it's fired up, so you can't see the dashboard because it's all electronic, which I would love to see before the end of the year. But personally, I'm not keen on the interior of the S series. I don't know why. I think it's just going to take a lot of getting used to. But then on the other hand, you look at what ETS 2 is coming in December with the Italian DLC, and we've got the new Scania in there, and I feel like a kid in a sweet shop, in a candy store, because I just can't wait for it. I really can't. But that's Europe, so we are in America. So without further ado, let's press on about this Kenworth T680. What do you think of the American accent? Not too bad. My good friend Kelvin, who makes models for me, he that's Rain, I think. He can do a better American accent, like a very old farmer, really good accent, which I'm sure one day on YouTube will demonstrate when he comes down here. We are going to do a video series. I know exactly what it's called. I know what it's to do with. So next May, it will be on Truck Talk Videos. And I did forget to say the introduction, didn't I? Welcome to Truck Talk Videos. So yes, welcome to Truck Talk Videos. You heard it first from me. So the Kenworth T680 looks very, compared to European tractor units, still has that sense of oldness about it, but then the Americans like the oldness. Look at the Peterbilt 379. That looked like it was from the 1950s. It was still in production in 2006. So there you go. And is now at 2 minutes 12. So I will continue. Designer, Kenworth. Manufacturer, Kenworth, of course. Let's just have a quick look on my route map. Yes. Where are we going? Brake. I should have used that Jake brake, shouldn't I? Let's gear down. Put the indicator on anyway, but there is no one here. Oh, I thought it was going to hit that then. See, it is raining slightly, but I'll turn the wipers off because there's nothing here. 30 speed limit. So you can get a T680 in an extended day cab or a sleeper cab. Personally, I think the sleeper cab version looks the part, and personally, I think for a trucker in America, he lives on the road for weeks on end, it's the perfect size. Hey, Bakersfield. And I quite like the sleeper, to be honest. I really do. It's a nice, spacious sleeper. It even has a wardrobe in, a TV, table, microwave. But then in a way, it's like our tractor units over here in the UK. We have everything but a table, but then the new Scania does have a table where the glove box is. And stop! I know a few of my friends will be thinking there, stop the driving lessons. Well, it's 12 o'clock, it's 12 bells, and I can't actually say it's 12 bells, guys, because there is a good few females who watches the channel, which, well, what can I say, I might get a girlfriend before the end of this year, after all, hopefully. One who speaks, very good on the phone, shall we say. If only. So, it's 12 o'clock, which I cannot believe it's what, 10 seconds past 12, which means the New Mexico DLC is now live in effect. Anybody can buy it on Steam, which I have this on. So I am 36, need to calm that down. Calm that speed down. So yeah, it is live. You can buy it now. I am so looking forward to it. I mean, this is the first video on Truck Talk videos that I have done of American Truck Simulator, even though I've had it since... You're talking about 10 days after release because things got a bit messed up. Wait, stop! It's not me, it's the brakes. It's the brakes. They're not... Well, actually, no, it is me, because I should be... The problem is it's a longer nose. I've only been on here... now, obviously, for 10 minutes, but... Actually, no, just 18 minutes. Actually, 18 minutes, but... I've been on American Truck Simulator now over the past 5 days properly, because for the last 5 months my screen has been shrunk. It's been, you know, it hasn't been a full-size screen. I've thought, how do I correct that? So then came the time of let's say a few days ago, I managed to solve that. So it's been 5 months off it, so I'm quite rusty. I'm not used to things with a very long nose like this. So that's my excuse right now. That is my excuse. But I have driven the new heavy haulage pack, which is very good, but not good if you're going into gas stations, or not good if you lose your way and you're trying to turn around. Very, very bad. I had a massive struggle last night with it. Massive struggle. Whoops. Yep. The Kenworth. Well. Whoa, what am I doing? That's the top tip for you. Never look at your phone whilst driving. It is banned in most European countries. And hopefully it is in America too. What a long and lonely highway. So, it says, because I don't know much about this new Kenworth, so I thought I'd read a bit to you. Unlike Scanias, where I know quite a bit about this, I know diddly squat, you could say. I don't know what you guys are saying in America, or you gals are saying in America, but to me, here in the northwest of the UK, that's as good a saying as any. So, the interior. Oh, now that is something, unlike you get in, apart from I think it's a Renault Magnum, I think you get it in there, I'm not too sure, but I think you do, and maybe the new Renault T range. So, this here, I shouldn't really show you while I'm driving, but that there, the passenger seat, wow. That must be a boring life. Just like on the old westerns, eh? Great John Wayne era. So, the passenger in the passenger side seat, or as we call it, the passenger seat, swivels around into work desk in the back. In not to be used whilst the truck is moving. Yeah, that would be very, very dangerous. Good job it isn't the driver's seat, but yeah, that would be very dangerous, wouldn't it? I hear it's good in a plane crash though, if the seats are you could say back to front like the old Vickers VC10 Royal Air Force Transport. But then I have sat in the flight engineer's seat at Bruntingthorpe Aerodrome in Leicester back in August. I'm pretty sure I can tell you about that another time though. But yeah, that was like a great day. You could say I achieved probably one of my biggest dreams there. So yeah, I'd rather sit in the 727 flight engineer's seat, but hey, that's for another time, right? Whilst the truck is moving, it can reduce visibility and is very dangerous, which I'm pretty sure anyone with a brain will know that. Okay, yeah, but that's true. Let's not go with the sarcasm now, but yeah, that's true. I'm surprised they've actually got that on here. It's very dangerous. I thought they'd probably leave that in the Kenworth manual, but I'm guessing it might be a click system or some handle, like when you move your seat forward. There might be some button on the side that you can swivel it around, or just 2 lock pins. I'm not too sure. Get in lane, okay. What are we at? Still 55. We can still do 55 on this road, which, looking at all these red lights, you can't. I know what that is. It's a Toyota Prius or Prius. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like them, but the other hand, I wouldn't want to damage the bumper on my beautiful Kenworth now, would I? Just because I'm going a little too fast. I'm very surprised, before I continue, I'm very surprised there's this many vehicles out at 45 minutes past 12 through the desert, but I like how they've retained, I imagine in real life, this system, this probably 1920s, 1930s road that's full of scuffs, and like, the concrete could have been, you know, smashed up by truck tyres over the years. I quite like that, how the builders have retained that. I don't know why they would have retained that. It was probably easier, but then it does make one wonder. And then I think, are we coming into a town or something here? Nope, well, we're on the road again. Ah, no, we are coming into some town. Speed limit 40. Let's just leave it at that for now, shall we? I think that's a rest stop. Yep, that's a rest stop. I think there's a quarry or something up there. 55 again. Believe me, it's nothing like this in Europe. It's either a set speed or, you know, usually it's 30 miles an hour through a town. It isn't usually, you know. But I guess this is the way it works in the USA. You can tell I haven't been there. My mother used to live in the US. But I've never been. I've never really felt much desire. But come on, to see a Kenworth W900L, is that 8-hour journey worth it? I think it could be, especially to see a bunked sleeper, which in another video we will definitely talk about that, because when it comes to something like that, I can go on forever, and well, I don't really want to. This is why I think it's I think this journey is only about 5 hours long, and that's pretty much why I've done it at 5 hours, because I didn't want this video to go on and on and on and on and on. Keep it a normal, you know, normal time. Probably around 40 minutes, something like that you're looking at. So once we've made sure this intersection is clear by going up to the clear on that side. It's clear there. Then we'll hopefully go back to the talk in hand. Okay, chat in hand. Don't worry, I will get more professional as time goes on, don't worry. So, do you remember when I was saying about the seat swivels round? Don't find me. Yes. So yeah, the seat can swivel round, but it's very dangerous to do so when on the road, when moving. The dashboard is a very clean and sleek design. Well, I can vouch for that. That is, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice. I still don't understand why there's the need for all them gauges though, or if it's just because, you know, it's because it is an American tractor unit, because they love, you know, all of the gauges. It's a real old style for them. Or, I mean, a Scania, you're talking they have 5 gauges, and then they have the one in the middle that can do like 6 things, so it could be that. I don't know, but it isn't as clean, you could say, as a European tractor unit to do with all the gauges there. But nevertheless, it looks the part, doesn't it? It looks the part. Here we are at our drop-off, which is such a shame. So guess what? Looks like I'll have to do another video. Whoopie-doo. Hopefully on the next video will be Arizona. I'm not sure. Okay, where are we? Oh, that's a shame. It's just a simple one. I've actually put random parking, but yeah, why not? But I'm not going to line up here, am I? I'm not going to be lined up, so I'll just see if there's another trailer there. I'll take a turn around there and then we'll line up properly, because there's no way that I'll make that turn. There's no way I'm going to make that turn if I slam right into a brick wall, neither is there. I quite like the interior, but see that screen, or whatever it is, right next to the sat-nav, what is that? Is that a TV screen? Is that a reverse camera? You know, the reverse monitor? It's never on. It does just make me wonder what it is. It really does. Yes, I know I can enter, but I'm not going to do that because a truck driver can't do that. Unless he's got some magic powers, which I don't think he has. So then, it's clean and sleek design in with both angled and digital parts. That's very true. In with comfortable seats. Well, if it's like my office chair, then that's nothing to go by, because that's broke. So that's nothing to go by. But I can do several hours on this chair per night, so it's not as comfy as the nice armchair downstairs, but it's comfy enough. You don't feel it, I think, after so long. Right, look at that trailer. We are going to have to manoeuvre. I don't really want to jackknife. I won't jackknife it, but I'll slam into somebody's... Oh, Ford Crown Victoria. The old LAPD black and whites. Oh, beauties. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, looks like I'm going to have to do this another way. This isn't easy. This isn't going to be easy. Plus, it's a one-axle trailer, so it's even harder. Than lengthwise, it's harder because it have a tendency to just swing when the other ones obviously wouldn't. So hazards on. I want to be noticed by all of these customers still shopping at 1 o'clock in the morning. Which I do find, I don't know, unless it's a 24-hour store, I find hard to believe. But I'm guessing there is still people up at night who will go to the supermarket, I guess. And also, there is lots of room in a wooden trim. It's hard to believe you're in a huge truck. In the T680 shares the navigation system with the Peterbilt counterpart, the 579. Now the 579, I think, is the same one that's on here. I'm not sure if it is, but I think it is. The one that I don't like because the gears... It's got 18 gears, and every time you change down for a light, or every time somebody brakes in front of you, you have to slow down, you have to come to a dead stop, and the gears are just, you know what I mean? It's so slow from one gear to another to get really moving at a fast enough speed, like, I don't know, 30 miles an hour. Whereas this, is pretty speedy, you could say. There's, you know, it's a really nice tractor unit. And even though SCS software does call them trucks, and you could say nearly everybody calls them trucks, the front part with the cabbies is a tractor unit. And every time somebody says, "Oh, look at that truck," it's like, it isn't a truck, it's a tractor unit. So obviously, you could say derived from the old tractor, you could say. But yeah, it is a tractor unit, and every time somebody says, "Oh, it's a truck," it gets you a little mad, because you know that it isn't a truck. And I'm gonna... Well, we nearly made it. We nearly made it with our Walmart trailer on there. I have this under control, I promise you. I do. I think I'm pretty sure last time I looked I've got 40 subscribers to the channel since April the 18th, and believe me, once you see this video it'll be down to about 36. Or even down to 1, who knows. Believe me, I'm not trying to be funny there, it does get you a bit. You know, one option could be if I looked in this mirror a bit more often, you know. I honestly can never ever judge it from this mirror. I can always judge it from here, even though you can't see anything. I don't know why. I usually can judge it from this angle. This is probably my favourite angle for reversing. Even though in real life you have to keep looking in the other mirror. And how do they do it sometimes? I know I've got a lot of friends who own trucks, who own companies. And apart from being an in-flight engineer and a pilot, this has been my dream longer than any of them. The only thing is, I've never driven a truck or a tractor unit, whereas a plane I have flown. I have flown 3 of them in my training. And I'm not going to say it's easy as pie, but when you have a flight simulator and you know what you're doing most of the time, it is easier. The only thing that isn't easy about it is knowing if anything goes wrong, you are dead. Unlike, don't damage that pickup. Unlike a simulator. So I'm thinking to try and swing, even though this is a very long nose, I'm going to try and swing this around now, because it's a small trailer. And I'm going to hit that Crown Vic again, aren't I? So really, I shouldn't have done my initial turn. I should have just sort of got it right in the parking bay when I had the chance, I think. As I said, with the small trailers, it's a lot harder than the big trailers, because they have the tendency to, as you can see, jackknife a lot more often than the big ones. And that's one thing I think they should put in Euro Truck Simulator 2. They should have trailers with 1 axle, 2 axles, and of course 3 axles. I think there's a few things that SCS software should copy off this simulator, like day cabs, the amount of trailer axles for European trucks. I know you see a couple of supermarkets having 1 axle trailers, so not very many, but in a way I honestly think that that they should do it. I mean, who knows, maybe on 1.29 in Euro Truck 2 they will do that. I doubt it, but they might. Now I've wrote down the mods. It took me a bit of time to write down the mods that I've got to do with this particular game simulator. And if I wrote down the mods for Euro Truck Simulator 2, it would literally take me all night. Whereas this didn't take me all night. The only thing is the authors, very hard to pronounce. So what I'm going to do, if I don't feel like it's a good pronunciation, I'm just going to